Alright, welcome back to the Supercoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to preview round 11 of the 2025 NRL Fantasy season. So before we get into my team, we will have a look at the most popular trade-ins, trade-outs. So number one on the trading list, Zach Hosking. Pretty much a straight swap for the number one trade out there, Matty Nicholson. So absolutely makes sense if you've got him to trade in Hosking. Joe Tarpany at number two obviously plays next week, which is really important as well to consider with all the high-level middles all seemingly playing Origin. Dylan Lucas at number three is pretty much a keeper at centre, so bring him in. Jaden Campbell at number four, so I guess doesn't play next week. He's probably the first name on the list that doesn't play next week, but he probably is going to be the number one wing fullback by the end of the year, so you can bring him in any time you want. Herbie Farnworth will play next week, so he's a great trade-in. Fletcher Sharp will play next week, bring him in. Saifidi is an interesting one, had a good game on the weekend and will play next week as well, so maybe a cut price option there in the middle. Pasifiki Tonga is probably the number one popular cheapie option this week, and I guess he doesn't play next week, but I know I was having a look around and there's none of the cheapies that you can sort of pick with any confidence this week. So I think I agree that he is the best of the bunch this week. Aaron Clark, great option for next week. Bring him in. Riley Smith, I think, is still going all right. Plays next week. Trade him in. I think Pappenhausen's a bit of a trap. He's more Supercoach relevant. Obviously, he did score close to 100, if not 100 this week, but yeah, he does average a bit lower, so he really, won't score 30-something points every week. So probably one to avoid. Also has the bye next week anyway, so I'd wait a week on that. Katoa will play next week, so a really great option in the halves. King Togia still got a little bit of money to make, so I guess you can bring him in if you haven't. Pia Kura is a bit of a risky one, really nice break even, but it doesn't play next week, and we know what his floor is, which is pretty terrible. And Hamish Stewart's an interesting one. Obviously, with Toby Couchman out, there's minutes on offer there in the middle at the Dragons, so he could potentially benefit. So I guess that's why Pasifiki Tonga is a viable option as well. So talking about Couchman, he's number two on the trade out list with his injury. Doesn't play next week anyway. I think that's fair. Isaiah Yeo and Nathan Cleary obviously don't play for the next 2 weeks with Origin. So I'm going to try and hold both, but I can definitely understand why you would trade. Greg Marzu's out for at least a couple of weeks, so won't play next week and is probably a trade. Matt Mazelis still out injured, I'm pretty sure, so trade. Hubner could be a good, useful number this week, but then will miss next week, so I guess if you're starting a forward plan, you could trade him out. Kalen Ponga, just struggling. Thought if he'd score against any team, it'd be the Titans, and he didn't. So I'm chopping him, and I can see why others would too. Jenkins, I guess on the bye, potentially a hold, although he will play next week actually. So I'd probably hold if you can. Excuse me. Tamale is a hold, plays the Titans this week, which is usually a fill-up for opposition wingers and centres, and will play next week. So I think he's one you hold. Alamotti's another one you could hold, plays next week. Jai Gray, on the bench, he's a sell. Arthur's doesn't play next week, so a sell. Horsburgh's one I'd wait a week, just see if he plays next week or not, and then decide. And Preston, I guess he's not going to play next week, so you could sell him. So based on all that, my trades this week. So originally it was just the one Marzu out for Tedesco. But I was sort of very keen on finding a cheapie to pair with Jaden Campbell to bring in. And in the end, I decided on Tom Gilbert. Not 100% guaranteed, but from all reports, sounds like he will play in the Queensland team. So um, we can get out of the pick this week. Probably Mitch Barnett is a chance as well from my team. I think Hopgood probably won't get there for Queensland in the first game. Um, so yeah, between Gilbert and Ponga, I could afford to go Campbell, and I had 290k, and the best sort of cheapie under that price, I think, is Pasifiki Tonga. There's none that have massive job security for next week. So I just went on who'll make me the most money this week, and I think he is the guy, given that Couchman injury and the break even is favourable. So how the team will line up this week, I guess nothing too different from the usual. Going to loop in Nwangani Tuase tonight against the Dogs. And then if it doesn't go well, I've got to pick one of the Dragons guys that I think will do okay against the Broncos on Sunday Arvo. So maybe King Togia with a little bit more attacking upside potentially. And then captain, vice captain, keeping it simple. Um, I think, yeah, the South pack looked a lot better last week, so I think I might actually switch it to Payne Haas against the weakened Dragons pack. Save that, and there we go. That's the team. So we'll wrap the video up there. If you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, add them below. Trying out a new microphone, so give us some feedback on that would be great. But yeah, give us a like if you enjoy the fantasy stuff. Subscribe for all the other videos and fantasy sports content. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.